Four to Five Podcast, episode 99. Wow, we've been going for a minute. Episode 99. We are back. How are we feeling? How are we doing? All great. That's good.
We're good. We're good.
We've been gone for a minute. We've been gone for a while. Some of us are still gone.
Some of us ain't come back.
Yeah. Some of us are stuck in traffic right now. So check it out. At the moment, we have the man, the myth, the legend. The reason why we get paid to do this. This man's a blast. He's fun. He created something that is like a godsend. We've talked about it for like the last 3, 4, 5 episodes. I don't even know anymore. Y'all already know what we're talking about. The reason why, wait, let me turn my camera. I ain't even gonna do that. The reason why I got these, why we all got these, hey. And for the listeners, it's the bottle of EasyRhino and Pink Kitty. We got the man who created it all himself, Mr. Robert Tashinsky right here. Give it up for him. We have a round of applause button here somewhere. I'm gonna do that too.
Which reminds me,
you're gonna make me blush, man. I don't need to be more red faced than I already am. I appreciate the warm welcome. Grateful to be on your 99th podcast here, fellas. Thank you.
of course. Now, hey, look, I have to say something fun I did, right? With the drinks. So I got a game recently, a board game called Not Enough Mana. It was a Kickstarter. And the whole premise of it, they give you shot glasses that come with it. It's a drinking game where you pretend you're a wizard and you've like all these cards you get are like spells and stuff, and you have to spend mana to use it. Well, the whole thing is you can take a shot or a drink anytime you want. That you don't start off with anything, but every time you do, you get these three little crystals in it, and then you use them to cast spells and try and beat everyone up. And I took the EasyRhino and mixed it with some blue carousel, and turned it. It's actually really good. And it turned it into a blue mana potion. And I'm thinking with the Pink Kitty, we do the same thing, but instead with the grenadine, and turn it into a health potion.
I love it.
Yeah, I've mixed it with Red Bull, and what was it? It was Red Bull, EasyRhino, and I want to say it was Kool-Aid that I had.
My favorite mixers is especially if you want it a little sparkling. If you guys are familiar with San Pellegrino, they just came out with came out for a while now, but a flavored line, and they have a pomegranate flavored sparkling mixer, and they have a blood orange sparkling mixer. So of course, because there's pomegranate in the Pink Kitty, I use that pomegranate San Pellegrino with Pink Kitty, and I use the blood orange San Pellegrino for the EasyRhino. And man, that right there could be like the next evolution of the drink in a ready to drink mixer. It tastes really good.
So wait. The Pink Kitty has. Oh wait, I'm coming in too loud. I'm sorry. The Pink Kitty has pomegranate, right? Is that what he says?
Yeah, it has more of the pomegranate flavor than the peach. The peach is just a hint.
Okay. The reason I say that is it's funny, because I didn't realize this. I've been reading a comic series on, on Webtoons called Lore Olympus. And it's all about more like a modern look at Hades and Persephone, and we all know Persephone was strict eating the pomegranate to stay in the underworld for 6 months out of the year.
Right.
So it's kind of funny that as well that pomegranate is in the pink kitty. it just makes more sense.
Actually, I was curious about this, right? How did you find out the effectiveness? Excuse me. How did you find out like the effectiveness of the pink kitty? Because I could see how EasyRhino. I see how you could find out the effectiveness and how you came up with the EasyRhino. But when it came to like creating one for the women, how were you able to narrow it down as far as like the recipe and narrowing down what herbs and stuff to use?
Sure.
To help that, because there's not many. I mean, yeah, there's like the gas station stuff like that, but there's nothing really solidified that sits there and says, okay, well, for women who suffer from whatever the case may be, these things help. You know, I mean, I saw that your website shows that, hey, these are in it, and this helps with this helps with that. So how did you come about?
Well, I personally didn't come about it. I'll do a brief back history, not a long one like we did last week. But when I was a kid, I used to watch my dad make this beverage called Frutka. And he would, I didn't know at the time, he would take his favorite fruit, infuse it with vodka. And I didn't know that he was putting these herbs in there. It wasn't until he died in 89. In 1992-93, I'm visiting my uncle, my dad's kid brother, and I shared the story that, God, man, when Dad would go out of town, leave me at home, I'd throw these parties with my friends. We drink Dad's Frutka. Never once did Dad bring it to my attention. Hey, Robert, what happened to my Frutka? My uncle was the one to reveal to me. He's like, do you know what your dad had in his Frutka concoction? Your old man was putting herbs that he learned when he was traveling to Asia, because my dad introduced Sony to the United States in 1950s. And it's like when your dad started doing business with Sony and he was traveling to Asia all those decades, he was introduced to herbs that are known in their culture for centuries, even thousands of years, to help men with their libido. And your dad was infusing that in his Frutka concoction, and you kids full of testosterone at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old probably didn't know the difference. So that's what got me interested in Dad's Frutka beverage. And I, through the years, was trying to duplicate it, part of a way to not to commercialize it, but part of a way to still stay connected to Dad, because it's something I used to watch him make, and he had fun making when I was a kid. It wasn't until 2012 when I founded the company, and I thought that, hey, you know what? Maybe there is a market for this. I hired several of the top herbalists across the country. A couple of them are here in my own backyard, as I mentioned before we went live. Austin is Hippieville since the 70s. So there's a lot of herbalists are here, and a lot of naturopaths are here in Austin, Texas. So I didn't have to go too far to collaborate. I shared with these herbalists what I was looking to do. I'm trying to create Dad's Frutka concoction. I don't know what herbs Dad was using, but through the years, I've been using these herbs. And it wasn't until I was introduced to these herbalists that said, hey, Robert, listen, if you're looking for any type of efficacy with the herbs that you're infusing in your vodka, you should let us make a formula for men and a formula for men to infuse in there. I was looking to try and just recreate one drink that I saw Dad make for so many years. So it was these herbalists that really got me to think and go, hey, no. We got to make a tincture for men and a tincture for women. So we spent 4 years in research and development. It was these herbalists that created these tinctures. They shared these tinctures with their clients, with their students. One school is a school of herbal medicine here that shared it. They were my biggest focus group. She created a tincture for men, a tincture for women, shared it with them, with her students and their clients and everything. And that took about a year before Nicole came back to me and said, "Hey, Robert, I can stamp my certification as, an herbalist that I back these two formulas. Here's a his version. Here's a hers version." So I didn't come up with anything. I'm just the dude that decided to take the risk and bring it to market. My old man was the one that gave me the idea, and it was these awesome herbalists that I've worked with and still continue to work with that really developed the brands and made me come up with two separate his and hers version. And that's how we have Pink Kitty and EasyRhino.
Awesome.
I like it.
So,
Yeah, and it's not like, oh man, only dudes can drink the Rhino and females can drink the Kitty. The herbs are herbs, and the herbs benefit all, but there, with the formulas that I was given to infuse into the spirits, there are more herbs. For example, there are 7 herbs specifically formulated in the Rhino, and there are 5 herbs specifically formulated in Kitty. And the formulation of the herbs and the herbs are just more focused to stimulate the specific needs of females, specific needs of males, but that doesn't mean that a male can't drink the Kitty and have a good chance to find the benefits of that. And for sure, for the females, they drink the Rhino, it's turbocharged.
That's awesome, because when I got my first set of bottles, because I think this is my, I want to say this is my 4th, maybe 5th set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going through.
That's an understatement. This is my 4th or 5th bottle within the last 3 weeks.
Love you all for your support. You guys are awesome. I'm so grateful that the universe brought us together.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When I tried the,
I just wish we were all in the same town, and maybe we can make that happen so we can go out drinking the Kitty and Rhino with all your fans and friends and have a good time with everybody.
Hey, we might be.
Hey, Kyle, good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys too. Hope I'm coming in clear.
Excited there, buddy.
He's like the mailman right now. Rain, sleet, or snow, he'll be here.
Awesome.
Look, one thing that AJ will tell you is that no matter what, I am tenacious. I will find a way.
Rain, sleet, or snow, baby.
But keeping it
Yeah,
going.
that's just how things are.
How did you choose the names? How did you choose the names Pink Kitty and EasyRhino? Because I'm not gonna lie, the first time that I saw the or how I came onto the brand was my Facebook algorithms. You know how you scroll through Facebook and you'll see ads and everything like that. And I saw one.
It just makes sense for you, AJ.
And
it makes sense.
You know what? Fuck you. Okay. All right. We're not gonna do that today. But I saw one, and I forgot the whole thing, but it said something, night of passion. And I clicked it, and I saw it all. And I was just like, at first I thought, when I saw the name EasyRhino, I thought of the Rhino company, the Rhino, like herb pill, gas station pill company. So I thought it was through them. So I was like, okay, they went from pills to alcohol. They're going down a frying trend here.
Yeah.
But then, we had talked, and then everything else just kind of went from there. And I was just like, this has nothing to do with the Rhino herb pill at all. So how did the name EasyRhino and Pink Kitty all just kind of come about?
Sure. So once we had two separate vodkas, we labeled them his and hers for some time. And me being an old dude, I was thinking of stupid names from old movies that I used to watch, Love Potion 6ix9ine and stuff like that were the stupid names that I was coming up with, right? And I hired an ad agency, and thankfully I hired an ad agency with more youthful folks running the agency, and they're like, no, we can't call it that. And as you guys recall our last call when we were setting this up last week, how passionate I am about my story about my old man and the development of the product. So I shared that development with them, and they saw how passionate I was, and they're like, Rob, listen, man, we get how passionate you are telling about the history of the brands and your old man and everything, and that's great. But what are your other outside interests? What's got you so passionate that we can maybe find a name there? And I shared with them, I said, for the last 20 some odd years, I've personally been donating to organizations like WWF, World Wildlife Fund, and my passion is protecting endangered wildlife, specifically the endangered wildlife in Africa, the big five, the elephants, the rhinos, and the lions and the giraffes, because let's face it, they're some of the most magnificent creatures on this planet. And so we thought, okay, great. So we're just throwing up animal names and all kinds of names on a whiteboard. And we knew that the easiest way to gender specify is pink and blue. So that was a no-brainer. We were thinking pink and blue from day one. But we were going through a list, pink giraffe, pink zebra, pink lion, pink lioness, blue gorilla, blue elephant. And we were just going down this list. And one of the young ladies with the ad agency started laughing because on the board, it just had all the cats, cheetah, lion, lioness, cubs, and everything. And she starts laughing. She's like, y'all are going to laugh when I say this, but when I see all the lion and lioness and everything, to me, tongue in cheek, it kind of gets to the point in what you're suggesting. But they're all nothing but kitties. As soon as she said pink kitty, I'm like, done. Y'all, we're done. You just called the name. We're going with pink kitty. So we were trying to do the same, and we were trying to match with the rhino or an elephant. We still didn't nail it on rhino, but we were trying to come up with what goes good with that. And we were thinking blue rhino is what we wanted, but we were blocked by the National Propane Company, Blue Rhino, saying y'all can't have the authorization for specific use to use that in your liquor. So we kind of fell in accidentally to EasyRhino. Our customers still call it Blue Rhino because of our packaging. That's not our fault. It's our game. But that's how we came up with the names.
Awesome. That's funny. That's funny as hell. So is there going to be any new flavors or any new expansions or anything coming out anytime soon? Or
yeah. Well, eventually like I mentioned earlier when we were chatting on how I mix it with San Pellegrino, I think the next evolution is a ready to drink in a can mixed with something like that. But what we've got coming up for October, November, December, but specifically before Valentine's Day, is the components that we've been waiting for being produced for us overseas are finally getting shipped to us, and you may see it if you go on our website and our Shopify site. It's been out of stock for a while, and there are what we call romance enhancement kits, and they're these really cool tubes. When you open up the tube, they'll have 4 mini bottles in the tube. It'll have what we call romance enhancement dice. So it's 6 dice. You roll the dice. It's for couples. You roll the dice. It says who does what to who. And let me get off the frame here for a real quick second to grab this.
I was gonna say, I like playing games. Games are fun.
Check this out. Can you guys see this?
Oh yeah. Oh.
So these are 2.5 inches in height. This is a pink kitty candle in the shape of our logo. It's the tiger bust. It's an 1.5-hour burn each one. This is the blue rhino bust, and they're both an 1.5-hour burn time. So you're looking at 3 hours of play time. And this is scented with the pink kitty drink flavor smell, and this is scented vanilla, cinnamon, blood orange, like the EasyRhino smell. So it's all about, don't need to share with you fellas, but and your audience, but romance and seduction and foreplay is all about incorporating all those senses, right? Touch, smell, taste, everything, right? So what we're trying to do with our romance enhancement kits is like the candles, you got this fragrance going, you drink a little of the naughty juice, and then you've got that game to play to get it on.
Okay,
That's
so
what's coming.
I got one other question. After my wife is pregnant and she delivers the baby, I could just deliver them to your house, right? Because that's your child.
Hey, I love kids. I'm happy to babysit. I babysit my daughters, my grandkids, but it's temporary.
Hey, hold on, AJ. You do know the phrase, right? That's on every bottle. Drink responsibly.
I mean, drinking is the one thing. Next question. Who's next?
Like, moving on. Now I'm drawing a blank. AJ,
all right, so I wasn't here for the beginning parts, but just wanted to make sure I have everything clarified. Did you go into the history of how everything started?
Briefly, yes.
Okay.
Did you want me to? You wanted me to go over that a little bit more in detail about my dad and everything?
Well, I will say.
Yeah, I don't mind you going into a little bit of detail about the inspiration behind like your dad, the history behind your dad, because we had briefly touched on it, and I thought it was fascinating.
Sure, I'd be happy to go over it again in a little bit more detail. So as I mentioned earlier, I don't take the credit for coming up with these beverages. I'm just the facilitator to bring it to the market today. But my dad, Joseph, introduced Sony to the United States in the 50s. And I wasn't adopted until 67. And when I was a kid in the 70s, Dad was still doing business with Sony. And every time the founder of Sony, Akio Morita, would come to my dad's LA home every year for corporate meetings before they would go to the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, I would watch Dad and Mr. Morita do this formal gift exchange. And Mr. Morita would gift Dad his family's 100-year-old sake in these beautiful porcelain handmade. I wish I had some today. Beautiful porcelain handmade decanters that look like figurines of geisha, of samurai, of dragons. And Dad would put it in his back bar. And I didn't even know that they were decanters because they were so camouflaged, right? You had to screw off the head or screw off the arm of a samurai to find that the alcohol was in there. I thought they were just figurines that Dad put in his back bar. But what Dad would exchange in that gift giving tradition, he would put that Frutka beverage in these beautiful Lalique crystal decanters. And that was his gift exchange every year. So that's what originated my interest as a kid, 5, 6, 7 years old. Dad, what is that Frutka that you make? You share with Mom and friends and family, but you don't let me and my brother and sister drink it. And then every year when Mr. Morita comes to the house, you gift it to him in this gift exchange. So that got me, the worst thing a parent can do is tell your kid, no, you can't do that, or you can't touch that because we're going to touch it. So when my parents split, my mom, brother, and sister moved to San Diego. I stayed with my dad up in LA, and Dad was still a busy traveling businessman, would leave me at home. I would throw these parties. And that's what got me going in the interest. But not knowing all that time, all through my teen years, all through my kid years, it wasn't until 1993, 1994 when I talked to my uncle, my dad's kid brother, who was the one to say, hey, you know what was in your dad's drink? He had these herbs. And he didn't know what herbs Dad was putting in there. It was just herbs that Dad was given when he would travel to Japan, when he would travel to China, when he would travel to Taiwan. And he was experimenting and using it. So that's the history again in a nutshell.
So wait.
Wow.
Just to be clear,
there's a lot.
He went to
there.
Japan to get all these herbs, right? Or he was given to him from Japan.
No, these the herbs that we use are sourced from all over the world. For example, the Damiana leaf is mostly farmed. It's farmed here in the United States, but it's mostly farmed in Mexico, South America, Central America. So we source. They're all organically grown. We source from several suppliers, but some from Asia. A lot of the herbs are grown here and in Mexico.
But he learned his concoction, he said, over in the Asian countries, right? Like that's where he started it.
No, the concoction was developed that we have in the Pink Kitty and EasyRhino today was developed by 15 of the top herbalists here in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with making this. In the past, when I was trying to recreate Dad's Frutka, back in 1993, when I started tinkering with it myself, I went to a herbal shop in Beverly Hills at the time, and the herbalist there said, hey, this is probably the herbs your dad was introduced to. These are probably the herbs your dad's using. So I started using those herbs. And through the years, I developed my own knowledge, still a novice knowledge. So I'm familiar with the Damiana leaf, epimedium, horny goat weed, ashwagandha. These are herbs that are starting to become relevant herbs in not just what we put in our vodkas, but they're in a lot of drinks. For example, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Rebel brand. I like drinking cold brew coffee rather than hot coffee, but the Rebel brand has maca infused in their cold brew. They have ashwagandha in their drinks. And then there's another brand, a cold press brand, that adds ashwagandha as well. So these herbs are starting to become well known and used throughout the beverage industry. I'm just the first to put it in an alcohol because my philosophy is and I don't drink that often, guys. My philosophy is we all know that drinking alcohol is definitely not good for us. It's better for you to smoke. It's better for you to smoke CBD and buds than it is to drink alcohol. We all know that alcohol isn't good for you.
Yeah, AJ.
But when you indulge, my philosophy is, why should you take a step back? If you're trying to be healthy and watch what you drink, watch what you eat, and be as healthy as you can, why should, when you want to indulge and relax, because we all know that drinking alcohol has its benefits to just chill us out a little bit and make us a little bit more social, but why should we suffer the ill effects, especially in the bedroom, because that's when most of us are all drinking, is when we're getting social and we're wanting to get down. And why should we lose any chance of that? Because, hey, they didn't come up with the term whiskey dick for nothing, right? When you're looking to indulge, instead of drinking a vodka, especially instead of drinking a bourbon, because that's how they came up with that term, indulge with a spirit that has herbs that have been known for thousands of years to have some benefits in that department. And that's not to say that you need to drink an entire bottle, because if you're drinking an entire bottle, then you're just then you're just killing it. There's no help there. You're just killing it, But if you're gonna have 2-3 cocktails in a couple hour time frame and everything, and your more important goal is to get busy with your partner or partners, then that should do it.
So, guys,
We, the 4 out of 5 podcast, just want to say that we encourage everybody to drink responsibly.
I thought we were going to talk about the LGBT thing.
For sure.
Well, no. Guess what time it is now? Guess what time it is?
What time is
to
it?
do the sponsorship.
He's just counting down the time.
Oh, here we go. It's our favorite time.
Check it. You made it this far into the podcast. 1, welcome back. 2, you already know what you got to do. All right. While listening to us, you're going to go ahead and pull out your phone. You're going to go ahead and go on your computer, whatever you got to do. And you're going to go to 2xlswagger.com. And what are you going to find on 2xlswagger.com? You're going to find a beautiful website. It's got beautiful pictures in the background, everything like that. But you know what? We're not here for that. We're here to talk, and this is going to help you. Here's how it's going to help you, because you're going to hit that enter button after you enter your birthday. You got to be 21 or over. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to get yourself a bottle of EasyRhino and Pink Kitty. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, the bottles look nice, but what is it? EasyRhino and Pink Kitty are aphrodisiac-infused vodkas that are there to get you right and get you laid. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, it has been a time since I got some laid, but how is this going to help me? It's alcohol, idiot. Follow along. Anyway, so now you're on this website. You see the pretty pictures. You see the pretty bottles. You're about to go hit click. You're going to add it to your cart. You get to the cart, and you're like, okay, now what do I do? You're going to enter that promo code 4OUT5. That's promo code, the number 4, the word out, the number 5. You're going to put that in there, and then you're going to thank us because we gave you 10% off because we're trying to see you succeed in the bedroom as well as in life, but most importantly, the bedroom. Anyway, so after you hit that, you're going to go ahead, enter your information, get that thing shipped. That thing's package is going to come to you very discreetly. You're going to pop open that package. You're going to see them bottles, and you're going to be like, yeah, tonight's going to be a good night. You and your partner are going to go ahead and drink some drink and feel real good. And before you know it, she's going to give you a 5 out of 5. Ladies, he might give you a 4 out of 5, but hey, look, he's trying, okay? Nonetheless, 2xlswagger.com. Get yourself a bottle or 2 or 3. Drink responsibly,
or 5,
of course.
Like AJ.
Fuck you, Jordin. Not now. And also, make sure you use the promo code 4OUT5. Again,
AJ, an important fact I'd like to add there is proceeds of the spirits go to support an organization that's near and dear to my heart, and they can. Your audience can learn more about the Black Mamba's anti-poaching unit on our website. We have a link. Learn more. These are some of the baddest females on the planet, and I encourage your listeners when they do migrate over to the website to check them out. And there's a link there for the Black Mambas. There's also a link that if they like what the Black Mambas do and represent, which I'll share in a second, there you can make a donation direct to them. Now, going back to how badass these females are, they are primarily female-only organization. As far as I know, there's only one dude working with them right now, one ranger working with them. These women are trained rangers, and they protect the preserve in South Africa that they are assigned to, and they protect the big game. They protect the rhinos, the lions, the elephants, and the giraffes that are in the preserve, the largest preserve in South Africa. And at night, these females are all camoed up. They've got their AK-47s, and they're looking to make sure that the poachers don't put any snares out or anything that can harm the protected animals. And by day, they are relentless. They go into the schools and they teach the young people why they themselves shouldn't get recruited, why it's wrong for any of their family members to be involved because in poaching these animals, because what most people aren't familiar with is that ISIS, the worst terrorist group in the world as we know today, is involved in the poaching trade of these animals because they make more per rhino horn ounce or from a tiger claw or from an elephant tusk than they do in the opium that they grow in Afghanistan. So they're killing these innocent animals for stuff that does not have any benefit, that doesn't do anything to help them. For example, unfortunately, in a lot of Asian mythology, they believe that rhino horn powder or a tiger claw is going to add virility to a man, right? Well, these are also the same people that believe and know in herbal medicine. We've got the herbs that they're used to using in our alcohol, for God's sakes, but rhino horn is nothing but keratin. It's the same as our fingernail, for God's sake. So these people, can you imagine, Kyle, me asking you for your toenail clippings and me grinding it up in powder and putting it in my drink and drinking it, thinking that that's gonna get me a hard on, right? That's basically what they're doing. They're taking some rhinos fingernail, grinding it up in a powder, paying over $1,000 an ounce for it, and unfortunately, in Vietnam, young cats, when they go out clubbing, to try and express that they're ballers to the females, they take out the rhino horn powder, they sprinkle it on their wine or sprinkle it on their alcohol beverage to say, yo, I'm a baller. I can throw this money away. You want to come party with me? And hey, I got virility, baby. What BS is that, fellas? But that's what the Black Mambas are all about. They're protecting these animals so that poachers like ISIS don't kill the beautiful and majestic creatures that aren't too many left on this planet.
There you have it, folks.
Wow, that's really intense, man. And that's one of the reasons why.
As you can tell, I'm passionate about this.
Definitely. That's one of the reasons why we love supporting the product, because it's not just any other, typical sponsor. It's somebody who actually cares about something besides, having a good time, which isn't a bad thing, but it just gives us a little bit more purpose. It gives us a lot more meaning when we support and when we tell people to support the product, this wonderful product. One of the things that I had to ask you is, why did you have to make it so that it made people like me so damn sexy? Because, damn, I never knew it was going to, make me, to be an awesome person. I can't tell you how many numbers I've had to turn down, man.
Kyle, that's just you. If the product can help bring out the you and you and everybody else, that's just icing on the cake.
I'm sorry, listeners. We don't condone lying.
I was gonna say, Jordin, let him have it. Let him have his moment.
Look.
Really,
giving
Jordin?
me the Kyle stare.
You gotta let him have this one.
You're lucky I'm driving.
Look, okay, so if you want me to turn around, we can see right now that you're driving out to find the ladies. You're on the prowl. Is that it? Is that why you're driving around? You're on the prowl?
I'm on the prowl for ladies, yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay, please don't ever say it like that again. Don't ever say it like that.
Oh my god. He had too much pink
This is
kitty
why
before
we're
he
friends.
left. You guys are great.
You mentioned before.
When I listen to your podcast, I could just tell the synergy between you guys, and I'm so grateful for you guys connecting with me and getting behind the mission on the spirits. All playfulness aside, it is a serious business to me. I hope to be able to one day have these brands so big that the donations that we send to the Black Mambas really put a stop to at least where they're involved, the poaching in South Africa.
Hell yeah.
We down for that for sure.
That's a question for me. So what is stopping you from bringing this thing, getting this thing worldwide? Because it's such a great product. What's like the one thing that is preventing this thing from going a lot bigger? Because it's for me, this should have been top 5 brands of all time, and I'm just I'm waiting for it to hit the news.
Well, we're hopefully on that trajectory, but unfortunately, like everything else, it takes capital, right? It takes capital. It takes the backing of national distributors, and we're gradually getting there with the lack of capital that we do have to the numbers we need to be for a national distributor to say, okay, you know what? You proved yourselves. You got it. we're ready to take you national and blow you up. We're doing this without celebrity names. We're doing this organically. We're doing this real. We don't need a big name celebrity to pitch the brands. We don't feel, because we've got so much going on. The focus is the Black Mambas, not Dwayne Johnson pitching his tequila. No offense. I mean, he's one of my favorite celebrities, but we don't need a celebrity like him who has that kind of status that could overnight make our brands as big as his tequila. So we gotta do the slow, steady. Slow, steady sometimes wins the race.
Makes sense.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And I'm happy that you chose us as celebrities instead. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. At least,
and that's right. You guys, you guys are so organic. It was a no-brainer when we started talking, and everything. I mean, it's like, yeah, I dig everything you guys are working to produce for yourselves and everything, and it's more important growing with real, legit people. And hey, one day when you guys are the Howard Stern of podcasts and have 100 million followers, we can say that, hey, in our early years, we all work together, and that's where it's at. You know, it's we're both grassroots.
yes, we are. We definitely are. We're grassroots people, and I think at the heart of everything that we stand for, we just want to do things organically and right, and make sure that people enjoy us.
That's just it. Hey, listen, the message that you guys spread is important too, especially in these times, because we're living in some crazy times, and it's good to have real talk from real dudes, and I really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate everything.
We appreciate you so much, Robert. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're going to keep this going, fellas.
Yes. Sorry, there was too much silence. I felt there was a cheer coming, and everyone was waiting to see who was going to go first. Like, who's going to do it first? I don't want to be the first one so I did it. There, I did it for everyone.
You did it.
Yeah, no, it's I can definitely see where this is going to be going and the things that'll be coming up with it, and I'm actually excited. So like, I drink, what is it? The rest of my family, and I'll say this very, very easily. The rest of my side of the family is a bunch of alcoholics. So it's funny that I still have drinks in my closet or in my thing that are sitting there like months later. So like, I'm just trying to find fun things to do with it and have it every once in a while, because it's good stuff, and good stuff should not be used. What's the word? Frequently? No, that's not the word. What word am I looking for? Guys, help me out.
Sparingly? Sparingly?
It should be used sparingly. It shouldn't be used. I don't know. Forget I said anything. I don't know anything about anything. But no, it's some good stuff, and it's good to hear the story behind it. It's one of the few. I think the EasyRhino is one of the few that I've been able to actually take and drink without having to actually do anything to it. Like, it doesn't really hurt my stomach or anything like that, and it works. I will say it's it tested and proven.
No, that's awesome. But when your listeners do their own research and Google the herbs that we list, that we infuse in the vodka, you'll see that there's so many uses for these herbs, and we're singling one thing out. So to to say that it shouldn't irritate your stomach, I it wouldn't surprise me. I've had folks say, "Man, I can't drink a bottle of vodka and not have the worst headache and worst hangover the next day." And he's like, I drank your whole entire bottle because it tasted good and I was preparing myself for the worst next day. And he's like, I didn't have a hangover. I felt great. I was ready to go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning. Not that I encourage that, because that's the worst thing. Again, I'm basically a non-drinker. Guys, we're already mid half of the year. I've had less than a dozen cocktails.
Listen, it probably happened was, right, is your buddy that that tried it out, sweat it out that same night, if you get what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But yeah, like it's funny because I didn't know what it was when I first got it, because like I'm used to vodka like hitting me in the face, like going like, here's that dry right in the back of your throat. But I'm trying this, it's like, all right. I think my first sip was on air when we were talking. We started talking about it, and I go, you know what? And then AJ's and everyone's like, what are we doing? Oh, he's going to get it, and I just start drinking it right on air.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, no. What's so then the funny story about when you mentioned that you have horny goat weed in the EasyRhino, right? Because that's one of the main ingredients, because it's like plastered on the little tag that hangs off of it. One, it's an aptly named herb for it, and two, I was talking to a friend about we were talking about herbs at some point, and she ended up mentioning horny goat weed, and it was only like 3 days prior before we got the bottles, and we got them, and I see this like, what? No fucking way. All right, because they're like, she's like, it exists. I go, I believe you, it exists. I don't need to look it up. And then I see this. Oh my god, she's invalid.
Yeah. Do you know how it got that name? Horny
no,
goat weed?
I'd love to know though.
Please educate us.
So the herb was discovered in China originally, over 1,000 years ago, by a goat herder, and he would watch after the male goats, even the in the animal kingdom, right? It's the alphas always take everything, right? But he would watch the male goats, and he would witness like the betas after eating it would act alpha-ish and mount the females, and he's like, what is going on here? And he witnessed that, and that's how it got the name horny goat weed.
AJ, you do that too well. Have you had experience?
Thank you. Again.
I've had way too many of those moments today, but I'm not sorry. No, that's funny. I just think that's funny. It's like that's not heady weed. That's horny goat weed. Keep your goats away from it. Unless you want more goats, then you bring it here.
Oh man. So we figured out the name of Pink Kitty and EasyRhino. How'd you come up with the awesome name of 2XL Swagger? Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw that, I was like, how did the two correlate? How did the three correlate?
I mean,
so where did the 2XL Swagger come from?
I need that on the shirt.
What's your guess?
2XL, one of the really big bottles. Also, 2, and then you get some swagger after you drink them.
Close. So Right, 2XL is supersized, right? Add supersized swagger to your night. I'll tell you, I was trying to think of, how do I tie in the message and everything, and 2XL is add supersize. And where I got that from was from an H-Town rapper, Slim Thug.
Hey,
you guys know the song I'm talking about?
I love it.
You guys know the song I'm talking about?
But AJ probably does, as AJ is a DJ.
I got supersized swag. I'm honest with the class.
Yep.
Hey, I'm an old white guy. I don't want to butcher one of my favorite rap songs. One of my favorite rap songs that got me to name my company 2XL Swagger Brands.
Oh my god.
All right. Kyle, you got any more questions before I ask the question of the week?
I mean, I hope Kyle didn't. I hope he's okay, because he just kind of went blank and mute. I think he found. Some,
he found a pink kitty.
A pink kitty.
He found a pink kitty on his journey.
And then he starts yelling, "Here comes the horny Rhino!" Oh wait, there he is!
Sorry about that.
To our listeners, Kyle does not understand.
I am
that
in one of my favorite pizza restaurants because this is the best place I can get Wi-Fi. And hopefully you can hear me.
We have a question for you. If you didn't hear us, did you find yourself a pink kitty?
I mean, maybe. I'm not saying
Mr. Mysterious eating pizza.
That looks like a nice slice.
It's thin slice, which makes sense for him because he's from New York. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
You do it thin slice from New York.
Yes. That's the only way to live.
It is. Look, I've had Chicago style pizza, mind you. I've had it. It's not bad, but it's a lot. Like, it's a lot.
But I mean, that's the whole point of Chicago style pizza, though. It's meant to be a lot. The only thing that I think rivals that is Detroit style. To me.
The what?
Detroit style pizza.
Detroit style pizza.
Freestyle pizza.
Yes, I said it. Me. Mr. New Yorker himself.
I haven't tried Detroit style, so I can't count that.
I don't understand freestyle pizza. Never mind. Don't listen.
Never had Detroit style? Okay. We're gonna change that. Change this up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're doing question of the week, weren't we? I'm sorry. I went off topic. I saw pizza and I got hungry, and I ain't supposed to be eating this late, so there's just a lot of bad
dinner
things
time for me
on.
too.
I mean, this wasn't the plan.
So if you made it,
I kind of got one when I walked in. I used to work here, so they kind of just one of the guys just kind of bought me, a slice. Oh jeez, I should have asked your ass. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
It's too late.
There's already been judgment since day one. Anyway, so if you made it this far into the podcast, we love you for one. 2, it's time for the question of the week. The question of the week can always be answered and or asked if you have a question of the week on our Facebook group page, or you can message us on our Instagram. We also have a TikTok, and we're pretty much everywhere now at this point. Like we're pretty much on almost everything. So just find us. This week's question of the week. Actually, it was a question that was asked that I'm going to ask us now. Fellas, some people wanted to know where we've been. What we've been up to. We've been gone for, by the time this recording comes out, we've been gone for about 2 months and a couple of days. So, where we been, fellas?
I'm just going to stick my neck out there for the axe to fall. It was partially my fault. My dumbass didn't upload an episode like I should have. and then it was just too long. So, and then we said, fuck it, take break time. Fuck you for being an idiot and not putting up the episode. That's all on me. I will take full responsibility for that one. At least that's how I think. But now I will follow up after when you guys say what you want to say on what we were doing in the meantime.
I was getting laid.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I'm
Somehow,
sorry.
You gave him a shot, AJ. We say that much. You gave him a shot.
Oh Lord, have mercy. No,
so go ahead,
because
Kyle.
I can hear myself and how it sounds. I don't want to sound too awful when I'm saying it. We're kind of going through a transitional period right now. I don't want to say it because it's kind of like damaging to one of the other guys that's not here, but we're going through a change on the 4 out of 5 podcast. We're thinking about rebranding, and we're thinking about what is going on here. We're thinking about starting over with myself, AJ, and Jordin. And so, we've talked to the other member, Taj. We have no, you know, issues with him or anything like that. It's just, there are some things that we just do not see eye to eye on. And we are doing the best that we can to just respect his wishes and moving forward without him. And due to some things that AJ has said and Jordan has said and recommended, out of respect for Taj, we are deciding to get rid of the 4 out of 5 podcast name and go a different route. Now, we're still going to bring you the same awesome content. We're still going to bring you um, us. It's just going to be 3 out of 5 instead of 4 out of 5 in a way. In a way. But we wanted to make sure that we let you guys know what has been happening, and we, don't keep you guys in the dark about it any longer. So I'm not sure if that helps, but we're sorry that we haven't been very transparent with everybody. But this has been a very rough couple of months trying to reorganize everything and still trying to push forward. But we we're doing the best that we can to give you guys 125% of everything that we can do for you. So we apologize, and we're hoping that this does not make you guys feel any type of way. We will keep you updated on everything that we decide to do.
So in short, if you couldn't hear what Kyle said, in short, basically what ended up happening, the reason for that 2-month hiatus is we had many and many of conversation talks, meetings back to back. Our group chat was blowing up almost on a daily basis with conversations, because not only were we burnt out creatively, the 4 of us, but we also had like creative differences, and we tried to reconcile everything the best we could. But the end result was that Taj decided to leave. So before podcast gets involved, before, like, we love you guys as fans, Rob, we love you as sponsor, but before all of that, with the core 4 of us, it's always a matter of respect and loyalty towards the 4 of us amongst each other. So what we decided to do after Taj's departure was, out of respect for Taj and the fact that the 4 of us did create this, we are going to, after episode 100, end 4 out of 5. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean everything is all said and done and it's over and we're sailing to the sunset. The 3 of us are still going to keep going. And before any bad ish kind of comes out, the 4 of us are still cool. Like, there's no bad blood in the 4 of us. We're still all good. We're still all tight. These things tend to happen, And, you know, I mean, it can always be reconciled in the future. It is what it is. But the three of us are going to be working on another project, and we don't have all the details fleshed out to bring it to the forefront to you guys, to everyone just yet. But once we get past a couple of hurdles and we get to that point where we can reveal it, we're definitely letting everybody and anyone know, you know, this is what we're doing. It's not to recreate 4 out of 5. It's not meant to be a sequel or anything like that. This project is going to be new and unique to its own. We're leaving 4 out of 5 with where it stands. That's part of the reason why we also brought a heavy hitter with us for one of our last episodes, Mr. Robert himself, because it takes people like you as the person listening to this podcast right now, as well as people like Mr. Robert, to come and sit here and say, okay, you know what? I've never seen these guys a day in my life. I've never heard of these guys a day in my life, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give them a shot. I'll give them a listen. I'll see what their Facebook group's a page about, you know, whatever the case may be, but I'm gonna give them a fair shot. It's because of people like y'all that we've ran into over the 3 years we've been doing this that makes us want to keep going and definitely keep giving you guys quality content. One of the things we did talk about, and I'm going to wrap this up because, you know, we're getting long-winded on it, but one of the things we did talk about was we owe you as the fans an apology, because the last couple of episodes, maybe 5-6 episodes, we were burnt out. We were in our own ways, between the double lives we live, between doing the podcast stuff, as well as the regular lives we live, because we're still going through our daily lives. It took a toll on us, and we recognized it and decided that, hey, this is like, we eventually need a break. And it came earlier than what we thought. That's definite. It definitely came earlier than what we thought. Definitely longer than what we planned too. So I hope you guys are well rested, because that definitely came out of our vacation time. We're not getting that back. So all of that being said, to the fans, to you, Mr. Robert, like, we apologize that, one, we've been gone so long with no explanation, no rhyme or reason. We apologize for that. And also going forward, when this new project is further developed and we're able to reveal it, we hope to get the support from every last one of you, especially you, Mr. Robert, and every last one of y'all who are listening, who supported us, whether it be from day 1, day 50, day whatever comes after, 400, whatever, whenever you came in. We thank y'all. We love y'all for your support, your time, everything that y'all have done. So that's where we've been.
Thank you, guys. I'm so happy to hear that you guys are continuing on. Hey, listen, everything has to evolve to reach greatness. I'm trying to do whatever I need to do. I've evolved the brand several times since I launched in 2012. You guys are evolving. You guys have something special. That's what signed me up to get on board to collaborate with you all, because when I listened, I just picked one of your podcasts. I just random. I'm like, I can't remember which one it was. I just random. Hey, let me try and catch a feel of these guys. And I didn't pick the first one or the last one at that time and everything. I just picked random one middle, and like, you know what? You guys have something special. You can sense the energy between you all and everything. So I'm glad you guys are going to find a way, like you said earlier, Kyle, that you always find the way. Find the way. It's all about evolving, and I look forward to continuing working with you guys and sponsorship with you guys. And I want to be able to be your liquor sponsor when you guys celebrate your big time status in the Spotify and all the accolades that you deserve one day for what you got going on. I appreciate you guys, and thank you very much for the opportunity to share my story with you here today. And I look forward to continuing on with you guys, however you come up with your next step moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
And just to kind of confirm, or just to kind of, say some things, we are not out of the woods yet. We do have a plan in motion. I won't say what it is because it still requires us to be a little bit more focused and little hush hush, yeah. But it's in the works. And as Robert says, I'm a very tenacious guy. So if I see something, if you see anything great, it's because of the people that I work with. And if I feel the need to want to work with these guys, that means that they bring something unique and awesome to the table. And so you'll see something from us, not later, but sooner. And it just requires you just to be a little bit more patient. But trust me, it's in the works.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, so any last final thoughts before we wrap up?
This pizza is really tasty.
What?
I'm sorry.
I didn't
That's
even hear
my
what you
own line of
said.
thought for
All I
today.
see, like, what'd you say?
This pizza.
About it.
Get back to it before it gets too cold.
Yeah, eat your pizza. Eat your pizza.
I will.
Put some red pepper flakes on it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Jordan, you got anything before we
what?
roll out? You got anything to say before we roll out?
Thank you, Mr. Robert, for being here with us.
Thank you guys very much.
I appreciate it. I appreciate getting a chance to have us grill you on air.
My pleasure. Believe me, I enjoy chatting with you fellas. Thank you so much.
I did say I like the 99, and we're going to aim for 100. And after that, whatever else is next is the stars. So thank you all.
Awesome.
And thank everyone who's listened. And, aim for the stars if you want to land on the moon.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
All right, take care.
And that's episode 99 of 4 out of 5 podcasts. Yeah, that's it. Thanks again to Mr. Robert. Make sure you guys go to 2xlswagger.com. That's 2, the number 2, xlswagger.com. Grab yourself a bottle. EasyRhino Pink Kitty. Y'all already know what it is. We don't have to beat a dead horse or, beat a hard rhino. Pause.
Oh God, that's the whole point of the charity is so no one gets to beat rhinos. Come on, AJ.
Look, ride the rhino, lick the kitty. 4 out of 5 podcast, episode 99, featuring Robert Tishinsky. We're out of here.